It's been more than a year since the pandemic turned healthcare upside down. I'm Jody Lesh. Join me for Ahead in Health, where we explore the questions that matter most about the future of healthcare. Listen to Ahead in Health wherever you get your podcasts.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late, and that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Excited to have all of you. First and foremost, let's give the birthday boy some love here. Yes, woo! Come on. Unmute your mics. Give it to Jerry. Yes. That's sexy.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
Yes. Yes,
Happy
that
birthday,
sexy
Jerry.
hunk of meat there. It's his birthday today. Speech, Jerry. Can we get a speech? Can we get a speech?
I barely crawled out of bed.
That's birthday behavior.
Yes. I wasn't so sure if I was going to do this or not.
I literally told them I didn't even expect you to be on. Yeah, no. Yeah, buddy. On my birthday, all I did besides teach was act like I had no responsibilities, and that was a great day. It was great because every other day I got all these responsibilities every other day. So on my birthday, I had no responsibilities. So good. Satish, thank you for rescheduling. Yes, I really did have an emergency last night. Y'all don't know. I went 6.5 hours without power last night. The transformer blew out, and Deanna had to call the city for me. Long story short, it got over 100 degrees in my house because Texas, no power. Just I teach you to understand that. Forget nighttime. Don't get that twisted. That's had nothing to do with Texas.
Can relate.
Say it again. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we went 3 days. And, people don't understand after a while when the humidity sets in, that's when you just really can't breathe. Just stand in this cold shower all night. That's all you can do.
That's about right.
I'm looking at generators right now because I don't want to go through not having power. I'm afraid at the same time, so I don't know what to do.
I guess if you remember the cold, dark showers, you'll get that generator. I guess that'll be enough. That'll be enough for sure. So Satish, I actually called Deanna at 6:04 to jump on a call, but she had covered for me because, 4 minutes late, she covered for me because I did not get to rest until 5:30, 30 minutes before.
Yes, sir, no worries. We will do it on Monday.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, it's Monday. It's not tomorrow. It's Monday. Or whenever she tells me, it doesn't matter.
He messaged me after I spoke to you and said Monday.
I only do what she tells me to do anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So that's what that was. I'm sure it's going to work out just fine, but it was hot. And it took me everything. I'm sure Susan had to struggle not to get frustrated. Because that's that hot Jerry that it just makes you cuss for no reason. It's just.
Oh, it's dangerous though. When it's this hot. It was 115 here yesterday, and I know some folks know I've had some trouble with some plumbing issues these last couple weeks, and man, that's all I kept saying to myself was, "Thank God it's not the air conditioning." Right?
No,
I can live with the water issue for a little bit, but thank God it's not air conditioning.
No, that's right. I'm gonna tell you what I said last night in my head. Well, it wasn't last night. It was from 10 to 5 or 4 in the morning, from 2,200 hours to 04. It was terrible. And I remember saying to myself, I remember laying down, and I went, a slave invented AC. Ain't no way in hell this is what I said in my head. I just laid down. I said, a slave invented air conditioning. There's no way. I actually said that in my head. I had to calm myself down. I couldn't no meditation, there's no electricity, right? So I had to anyway. Fun times. So that's why I was late. Now I'm going to do something that I've never done, but well, I do it all the time. I just don't do it in a public setting. Okay, I just don't do it in a public setting. I typically do this when you're law and you travel down, or you catch me in a one-on-one conversation. The Abby, the me now, it's always the me then. Please believe that. I'm gonna act like this at Walmart. I'm gonna act like this in front of Les Brown, the Pope. I am what I am. Okay. Now there's layers. So when you get me one on one, I'm typically, well, I don't talk much. I have to talk in these settings. My brain moves real fast and I say stuff. So I'm going to give you that one on one setting. You know what I'm talking about, Law? I'm going to give you that one on one setting. And I'm going to tell you, I was thinking about Jerry's birthday. And 2 days ago, he said something and I caught the energy. I just didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. He said something. He asked a question because remember I said all week I'm talking about in between your miracle. How did I say it? I said it in a poetical way.
You're in the middle of your miracle.
Watch yourself, Grace. Watch yourself. In the middle of a miracle. Ugh. Ugh. All right, you know that's the worst place to be. It's the worst place to be. Jerry responded, and then Jerry said, while y'all was talking, that was a personal question, by the way. I didn't just hear him. I felt him. I ain't say nothing, but I felt it. I ain't say nothing at all, but I felt it. So all this morning, I knew, Shaker, that I needed to address the question, and I'm going to do that now. Listen, y'all, I need you to understand that there's two, like, life has its dualities. I need you to get that. You're not going to understand me if you do not understand that where there is a woman, there is a man. Where there is light, there is dark. If you don't get this basic understanding of karma, of yin and yang, then you're just not going to receive me. If you are not going to respect arms and legs, right? Just these just basic principles here. You know what I'm saying? These basic principles. I can see or I cannot. It's just going to be difficult for you. Now, I know y'all get everything I said, but you need to get it in a universal perspective in which it applies to everything on planet Earth. Now we talking something different. It's why I always tell you there's no such thing as a middle class. It's a lie. How can it be middle? How? There's poor and there's wealth. Anything in the middle is the illusion of wealth. There's poor and there's wealth. Now, when it comes to the consciousness or the supernatural things or the things that we can't quantify with a scale, like I can't put Jerry's motivation on a scale and measure it. I could put him on a scale, but I can't put Jerry and say, all right, man, let me weigh how hungry you are. No, I can't do that. When it comes to those things, it's a great trinary of things. Subconscious, conscious, superconscious. Mind, body, soul. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I was trying not to do it, but it fits there, right? You know, you just have to understand that the way I get that, and people like me get that, that was the Hebraic people or Semitic people explaining in their best language possible what I'm explaining to you now. Okay, that's not to discredit anything. I'm just telling you to keep it out of a religious context. You need to get this here. With that being said, I told you you're in the middle of a miracle. And while The Secret is a great movie and a book, that's one side of it. That's that trinary stuff. That's that subconscious, superconscious, conscious. I don't want to talk about none of that trinary stuff because that's half your problem. Half your problem is that's why I had Gary Vee playing cussing y'all out. But that's why I had if you just tuned in, Gary Vee was like, "Stop it, Rick." He's just, he's just cussing you out because I was setting the tone. Steve, I want you to get that what I'm about to tell you, you'll never hear me say out loud. Not that I'm afraid to, because I'll say what I want. It's just so esoteric. People won't get it anyway. But I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to Jerry. Y'all just eavesdropping, okay? That's just eavesdropping. Now, where did I get this from? Before I tell you what it is, it's been around. Somebody even put a lot of it, or most of it, or all of it in a book, but it's been here. And that book came from research. So here's the deal, plain and simple, no more poetics. You're in the middle of your miracle, and that's a terrible place to be, because you moved because you had faith, but you ain't got to your breakthrough yet, and that's frustrating. It's I know God said I could have it, but when? Shoot. Can anybody relate to that? Or am I the only one that's gonna be real today? You know. Or let me get one better. I've taken care of everybody else, and I'm supposed to get a blessing for this. Where is somebody or my blessing or return on my energy to give me back what I give to everybody else? I wish I had somebody right there. Somebody got to feel that way. Okay. I keep doing for everybody else, but one side of that is that trinary stuff you'll always hear about. Just have faith. Just stay focused. Don't worry about it. It's coming. You can't get there. I kind of gave that to you Monday. I won't do none of that. Here's what y'all need to understand. And I get this more than most people, not because I'm smart. It's because I have the fortunate skin color to get this. If you can't understand nothing else, being black in America gives you certain advantages. Forget what the media tell you. I see stuff differently. When I came out the womb, I activated prejudices. Did y'all not hear me? I didn't even know English or a language. I hadn't breathed 10 times, Steve. I was already on the wrong side of some stuff for being born. That gives you some great insight if you learn how to harness that and direct it where you want to go. So here's that insight in plain English. This is war. I didn't come here to lullaby you. This is war, Jerry. And there's a way to fight the war. And I'm going to give you the stuff I know right now that nobody else would hear unless it's in the private setting. And see, this is just me and Jerry in the room. Since all of us connected, there's only one of us in the room. This is a private setting anyway. There we go. The first thing you need to do, I'm sorry, one more setup. Nothing that you're about to hear from me is going to be found in your happiness place. This is war. Please do not think that I got out that trash can because I meditated. Do not give me that credit, okay? I got out that trash can because somehow, as a teenager, I went to war. Don't forget whatever I say on Larry King Live and Oprah, because that's their audience. That's just me tailoring the message, Steve, to whoever needs to hear it. War. Okay? Here's what's even more the truth that you're not going to like. As far as humans go, Grace, there could be no peace without violence. Prove me wrong. You couldn't even be born without ripping your mama's skin apart. You made your mama bleed, Grace, just to give her peace. It's the duality of life. So you need to learn how to go to war. If you want to get out your miracle, if you want to get to your doggone law say he came out cool. He came out there.
I kind of did too because I was a preemie, but I wasn't going to discuss that. But it's okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
But she still had to lay down.
I got you. Yeah, I got
All
you.
right.
I got
she still spilt some fluid somewhere.
Yes.
All right, there you go. Your preemie self. Shout out to you still been alive too, by the way. Good job. This is war. So let's go. The first thing you need to do, if you're stuck between, I'm going to talk to a few audiences here. If you're stuck between post-resurrection and pre-Pentecost, sugar, help me somebody. If you stuck between after the cross and before before Pentecost, I'm talking to you. That was a terrible time. That was a terrible 50 days. They're going to catch you later when they do Bible study, Grace. If you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, the first thing you need to do is you need to declare enemy. Forget all that hoopla, esoteric Thursday stuff I'm telling you, Jerry. There needs to be an enemy. You got to declare one. It actually has a term for it. It's called self-directed warfare. That's what it's called. If you ever want to win at anything, there must be an enemy. But Antonio, it's got to be prosperous. Prosperous. There's nothing that's the enemy. Lies. Lies. Average is the enemy. Being disconnected from what is source, that's the enemy. Lies. They're lying to y'all. Get out that marshmallow stuff. But we're all connected. Yes. And those who are disconnected from that understanding, enemy. Lies. They lies. That's an enemy. You got to know it. There are opposing forces. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. The only way we change, Chris, is through adversity. If the situation is not changing, it means that the situation is supposed to change you. So if you don't like this up to this point, you ain't finna like nothing. But this ain't got to do with me. Everything I'm finna tell you is universal. There's got to be an enemy, Jerry. Got to be. So you need to declare the enemy. What's the enemy? The enemy becomes, I don't know, it's up to you. But without something to fight, you're not human. See, they can't handle that, sugar. See, I know you religious folk, you're having a hard time with this. I know you are. But none of y'all teachers, I don't care what your religion was, they weren't passive. They were not passive. Your religious teachers were not passive. They were so strong. They were so violently peaceful. They took it. Don't confuse someone getting crucified or burnt on something as weak. You know how strong you got to be to let people misuse you and get away with it? They'll catch that later, Jerry. You got to declare enemy. So let me give you some examples. If you don't like your money situation, then the enemy needs to obviously be poverty. And you don't fight poverty. Once you know what the enemy is, you fight for everything that is not that. I have this ability. It's a private conversation. It's just me and Jerry here. Jerry, I got this ability. I see stuff I shouldn't. I would never say this out loud, but this is just me and you. And I feel stuff I shouldn't. And I play dumb very well, like Susan. I'm good at playing dumb. Me and Susan, we play dumb real well. Okay. Even when I talk, I show my flaws so people like me. Because if you knew exactly what was in my head and how smart I was, you would hate me. Absolutely, you would. Okay. So I make sure. I'm telling you right now, half the people listening to me disconnected from this right now. And that's your problem. Your problem is you don't want to go to war, but they at war already against you. Every single time that your government wants to raise money, they declare an enemy. Prove me wrong. You ain't never heard of terrorism in the 80s. You don't even know what wasn't even a thing. Every time there's a problem, your government will declare an enemy. It will. It will declare an enemy. Why? Because enemies unite energy and raise money. Do you think that you go to church, sugar, because it's good, or y'all banded it together against the devil? Would there be Christianity without the presence of Satan? That's a real philosophical question you got to wrestle with.
Getting ready for war.
Would worship be worship without the presence of the adversary? The answer is no. You need an enemy. If you just joined us, my man Jerry asked me a question. It's real philosophical and stuff. We're talking about you're in the middle of your miracle, which is one of the worst places to be on planet Earth. It's when you know you were born to do something. It's when you know something. Am I talking to the right crowd? Does anybody have that feeling that if something needs to happen, it needs to happen now because you can't take it no more? Am I in the right place? Because okay, at least all right. Because if you don't feel like that, then I'm really not adding value today. But if you do, all right, Abby cut her camera off, walking around the track and threw her thumbs up. Like seriously, when you feel like if something's going to happen, it needs to happen right now.
Antonio, so I have a question.
Good.
Why did you say if there is no adversary, a worship is not a worship?
Yeah. If people never died, would you care about life? Would you appreciate
it? If I have an understanding of life that I'm coming from a certain school of thought.
Oh, I got you.
Right.
But
I'm
my
sure
question
you understand,
to you is,
right?
no, I
Yes.
got you completely. But how can you even have an understanding of life without the fear or disunderstanding of death? You need both.
To tell you the truth, yes, I completely agree. To tell you the truth, in fact, at my daughter's school, the way death was explained was, you see, if you are on a cycle and the cycle has served its purpose, you need to move on to a larger vehicle.
That's
you
right.
move on to a motorbike. If the motorbike has served its purpose, you move on to a car. If it has served its purpose, you move on to something bigger. So as you serve the purpose, as that the vehicle that you are in has served its complete purpose,
right,
then you upgrade. Similarly, as you change your clothes, and that is how it was explained to my daughter. In fact, I understood the meaning then.
Yeah, no, that's first off, that's a good explanation. I wouldn't even unexplain that. You said to your daughter, right? All right, I wouldn't even unexplain it to your daughter. Here's the problem, though. The problem is we get attached to that motorcycle because our grandmother gave it to us because it was in our bad times. And when it's time to move on to the car, we don't. We repair that motorcycle. Help me, somebody.
Understand.
And then the motorcycle on its last leg, and we get real creative, Steve, and we start coming up with new inventions about creating and repairing the motorcycle. And we never get the blessing of the car because we use all our intelligence to hold on to something we should have let go.
I completely agree.
Don't fall asleep on me now, okay? Y'all need an enemy. I want all of you to imagine your very favorite food on planet Earth. And right now, all of you would say, man, I love that. And I give you all of it to you. But watch this here. Watch me make your favorite dish the worst dish of your life without even changing the food. I'm going to have Abby eat all of it so she can't eat no more. Then when I give her another piece of whatever it is, she can be like, I don't want no more. Because you cannot enjoy your favorite food full. You must have the presence of hunger to enjoy your favorite food. In the same manner, in which y'all need. You can stump the devil out, all that stuff you want to all the time. Without the presence of opposing forces, you can't try God, so you can't love him properly. You ain't got like that, but your sacred text actually says that. forget what your local body says. Your sacred text says that. You understand? You need the opposite. But until you say, I have declared war on the opposite, wherever my feet tread, that I will have, you are no good to the human species. Some of y'all are not rich because you have not declared war for your riches. It is that simple. You got the brains, you got the talent, you just ain't never decide, I should have a paid off house. And you done got to 67 years old and now you want to pay it off. That makes no sense. Mark Zuckerberg designed his first software at 12 years old. Yes, go ahead, Jerry.
Just for the record, I'm not that old.
That's number one. If you want to, now when I was, if you just join us, I get it. See, you got to remember this, y'all. Let's just examine most of my fight. See, most of my job is in human resources now. The higher I get, the more I have to manage people, their egos, but not just their egos, their ambitions, the drive. See, it's different for me now, Sugar. When people pull their Toyota Corollas up to the office, I'm now responsible for those car notes. That's a different kind of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am both directly and indirectly responsible for the insulin their children will get, for the medication that their spouses will need. It's a different kind of pressure. So I spend a lot of my time in human resources. But you know what I fight against the most, regardless of sector or area? One thing: programming. Let me explain. I'm young. That's number one. So the first thing I got to fight past is people saying what he know. It's the first thing I got to fight past. It's the first thing I got to fight past. Then I'm black. Now, don't focus on the race of it. Focus on the programming of it. I don't look like your teacher, Steve. When they taught you philosophical things, them people didn't look like me. When they taught you math, they didn't look like me. When they taught you business, they ain't look like me. That's two different programs I got to go past now. You understand? Young, and he doesn't look like my teachers. Oh, you can act all bougie all you want to. I know what's up. Third programmer, I'm confident. And I got confidence in spades. It's probably my number one attribute, without a doubt. I've been tested plenty of times. Confidence is crazy on me, which causes plenty of programming. Because some people think confidence is automatically arrogance. I am not even close to arrogant, but I am incredibly confident. So now I'll just activate your confidence, your programming, because now I'm a snake oil salesman. Don't lie to me. Come on now. Don't fool me. Then I got people follow me. It's a cult, Jerry. Don't fool me. Come on, man. Don't fool me now.
Can I add something to that too?
Yes, sir.
Oh, phew, running. All right, I'm back. Anyway, so I feel like also when it comes out of that, I feel like we've been programmed to be so humble that we don't even fight or do anything for ourselves. It's like we train everybody to be, everybody accept the trophy mentality or self for less.
You're absolutely right. Here's the deal, man. Because y'all done put, you've equated humility with poverty. Why you can't be rich and humble? What's wrong with that? Humble doesn't mean without. It is not the absence of wealth or prosperity. It is the absence of pushing people down so you can be tall. Am I making sense, Grace? Now, back to what I was saying. All that programming I got to kick past, Abby. You know why I brought that up? You know why it doesn't stop me? You know why it doesn't stop people from following me? Because I distract you from your programming by declaring a common enemy. I just proved my point, Jerry. Y'all get past your programming of me. See, here's the deal. Your mama raised you way before I was born. Society raised you. The programming in you, I can't change. I can't do nothing about your programming. I'm not even responsible for it. So if I want to get past your programming, Grace, I got to declare enemy that we both say is an enemy. Because the friend of my enemy, all right? If we both got the same enemy, we friends now. I've declared war on what the government is doing to the middle class. Anybody disagree with that? Nobody here. That's why we all get along. It's why I can say something you don't agree with. You go, huh, that's all right. I just listen to the next thing. Point number one, pressed hard. If you don't declare enemy, nobody will follow you. You cannot push out what you can. Please know, fear, that adrenaline rush, was meant to make you jump higher, sugar. So when predators try to eat you, you can move faster, jump higher. You were born into a dangerous world. Now today the world is safer because of technology, but our ancestors were born into a dangerous world in which fear was a good thing. It kept us alive. How many of you have ever almost died and instinctively your body moved faster than you ever thought to move out the way of a bus or something? Yeah. Your brain has declared whatever's about to kill you an enemy, and it made you move faster. You want to get to wealth? Declare enemy. Am I making some sense, Grace? Then you got to define your opponent. Clearly define who your opponent is. If you want to turn your miracle into an actual miracle, you got to clearly define your opponent. Please know that whatever religious practices you have, there is a clearly defined opponent. There is a clear defined opponent. Yes, the meek will inherit the earth. There was also an opponent. It just is what it is. And it ain't just one opponent. It could be anybody. It could be the Romans, it could be the Pharisees. It doesn't matter. I don't know what y'all serve. I'm just telling you, there has to be an opponent. Number two. I had to press number one so hard because y'all wouldn't go understand nothing else. Number two, don't fight the last war. If I can't tell y'all that that's your biggest mistake, do not fight the last war. What made you win yesterday ain't gonna make you win today. Have y'all noticed that every time, first off, every time you see me, I'm happy. That's number one. Okay. But besides that, every time you see me, you think you know, and you be like, oh man, he did something different. Yeah, I do that every day. Every day, I find a new way to sneak up on y'all.
I got a great example.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if y'all are sports fans, but not trying to jinx any team. But do you realize that? No, I'm talking about football. Okay. Do you realize, like, a lot of times when it comes to the past year Super Bowl winner, it's like for some reason they have a completely off season next afterwards.
It happens almost 75% of the time. And I'll tell you why, Chris. Because Jerry and Deanna and Steve and Shaker, they lost to Susan. And all off season, Susan said, all we got to do is do what we did last year. And Jerry and Shaker and Deanna is going, let's go draft some people that's going to help us beat Susan. Let's work harder than we ever worked. And we got film from last year. We know Susan is going to do the same strength she did last year. So let's prepare for how she beat us. And that's why. Okay. Now, of course, I'm just using names and examples. But does that make sense? If you beat me, I'm going to make you pay for that. If I'm a warrior, I'm not losing quietly. I'm going to quietly take this loss. You beat me in checkers. Now I'm going to go buy me a checkerboard. I'm going to go play checkers until I can't be beat no more. Then I'm coming back to you. Knock your head off on these checkers. I think I'm lying. I've done it plenty of times and then moved on to chess and did the same thing. My cousin got out of jail, Jerry, whooped my face in chess. Took me 8 years. I practiced. Sure did. I studied all the chess masters. I learned, I ain't gonna tell you all my moves, my secrets, but I learned some stuff. I learned that chess is really a battle of the middle. I learned that before I ever move, I should be 15 moves ahead of you. I also learned that if you advance to the middle first, you actually know something about chess. And if you know something about chess, it makes me defend you with offense and not defense. I didn't know that when my cousin whooped my head, Jerry. But that loss, so what did he do? 8 years, he just kept his same chess knowledge. Not me. He fought the last battle when he played me again. Y'all want to win? The post you did yesterday ain't going to work today. Somebody needs to hear that. How many times you posted yesterday is not going to work today. That apology you gave your sister yesterday, that ain't working today. Her subconscious is sat in. You need to go apologize again. Where's your actions? Because you're about to have beef and she going to die. And then you're going to be crying over her casket because you didn't solve it. I'm talking to somebody. Don't worry about it. I'm just doing my gift thing. Don't worry about it. Better bury them hatchets. Don't fight the last battle. Do not fight the last battle. So Grace is going to say, well, Antonio, how not fight the last battle? You should probably write all this down, Grace. Dropped any preconceived notions or programming, whichever one you can spell. All your programming, drop it. All your assumptions, drop that. Re-examine every belief and principle that you have. They probably don't work no more. Adapt to the current times and keep inventing new ways to do the old things. Now, let me pause right quick because there's a punchline here. I'm going to give you the end, my last 5-minute rah-rah. I'm going to give it to you right now. What you're supposed to catch by the time I'm done is that few people win because few people understand they're at war. Everybody else has faith without war. Name me a sacred text that somebody ain't dying in it. Please, I'll wait. No? I am not saying anything different than your sacred text. You have been lullabied to passivity. If you want to get to your breakthrough, you're going to have to fight for it. See, it ain't like that. Would you like me to give you an example, Grace? Unmute your mic.
Loved it.
Okay, good. Unmute your mic for me, Grace. Which school of thought would you like for me to give you an example? Doesn't matter. Whichever one works for you and your understanding. It could be math. It could be Bible. I don't care. I don't care what you say.
Okay, Bible.
Mary, poor woman, unbetrothed, unmarried, dark skinned, by the way, in the hood. Absolutely overlooked. Angel had to come to her and say, you know you're great. Me? Don't you know where you at? You know, I'ma do what? Give birth to the Messiah? Really? Sir, you in Galveston. Don't get it twisted. Somebody said in your text, Grace, what good thing came from Nazareth? Now, I need you to know where they was. Like, pick the worst spot in your city. And that's where the angel went. And pick one of the most underwanted people on the planet. Looked right at you and said, Shaker, you mighty man of valor. Now, Mary had an option, Grace. She could have received her current circumstance or fought for what was prophesied over her. Help me, somebody. In the subsequent chapters, what does she do? She runs to a whole nother city and start professing what ain't happened yet. You know how crazy you got to be to shout about blessings that don't happen from 9 months? You go ahead, mute your mic, Grace. Was that good enough for you?
Yes, thank you.
You got to fight for this stuff. She could have said math. I had one for that. Listen, y'all. This is what I do. I became all things to all people so I can do this. This is what I do. Could have said seek. I would have been on it. Don't matter. Has nothing to do with me and being good. Has everything to do with this is how I share the light. And I actively carry the light. And since I actively carry the light, Jerry, like you, I automatically call forth the darkness. I'm helping somebody. I'm helping somebody. The darkness is not here by accident, Steve. I'm supposed to get talked about. They're not supposed to like me. Because how can I be the light in light? I can't do what y'all need me to do for you and your family and your legacies with light around me. I got to literally take on every square that I'm looking at right now on this Zoom call. And I have to call forth every darkness that is wrong with you, that is attached to you. I got to put it on me to share my light just so you can get out of darkness. So do you, Jerry.
Hallelujah.
You're also a light carrier. There's a point there, Shaker. The point is, don't get mad at the darkness. It's so you could be bright. Well, I'm talking in this place, Susan. I don't.
Yeah, Antonio, with what we were trying to do early on in our message out there, we were always being attacked. It was constant warfare, and still is.
Yep.
Jerry,
yep.
you know.
You're going to get attacked for following me. I know you already are. Yeah. Like, listen, Susan and Phil ain't got no easy tasks. Oh, go ahead, Abby.
Thank you so much, Antonio. And honestly, everything you've been has been resonating so deep because I come from a background, I'm African. I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. And I come from an environment and a background that has so much darkness, literally and figuratively. I mean, it's so bad that we don't, like, our electricity systems in Nigeria are so dysfunctional and so flawed that you can literally be in an environment of darkness, literal darkness. So I really understand when Antonio talks about darkness, you know, I know that it goes beyond the physical, but I can totally resonate with that message because I know where I'm coming from. And I've had to fight, I've had to like have like warfare with people in my family, aunties, uncles. I mean, when I got married just 3 years ago. 2017 was when I got married. And that was kind of like the beginning of my warfare with family members, you know, and things were said about me, lies, vitriol, all sorts of, I mean, things were prophesied over my marriage, over me and my husband that were evil and negative. I mean, people were waiting to see us fail. They were waiting to see our marriage fall apart. And it got so bad to the point where one of my aunties actually told my husband to his face that they had proclaimed that our marriage will not last more than a year. And this was a year and a half into our marriage, you know. And I know, I've always known that I've always known throughout my life, I've always known that I was called to greatness. I've always known that there is something big and phenomenal and amazing out there for me and my own, you know, and I just find myself constantly fighting these battles, fighting these emotional, psychological, spiritual, familiar battles, you know. And I just thank you, Antonio, for coming into my life when you did. And I know, you know, when I sent you a text, I told you that nothing happens by coincidence. And I really do believe that. And God bless you. Just continue to use your message to inspire and lift people out of the darkness, because you've changed my life.
Thank you so much. Come on, y'all unmute your mics and pour into this water, please.
All right now, Abby.
Yes.
Abby.
Put that energy back into
Good job, Abby.
That energy back into. If you just join us, if you're just the first time here, this is my daily meeting. Now, it took a turn, but today I'm addressing my birthday boy. You understand? My Scotch buddy. You know, my Scotch buddy. Today is his birthday, Jerry, by the way. He's ponytail years old. That's all you need to know. Okay. And he said something 2 days ago, and it sat with me. It sat with me for 2 days. For 2 days, it sat with me because I realized that y'all are unequipped to get to your miracles because you haven't realized this is a war. So Abby is now learning that you got to be at war at all times. But those who win learn how to do war without firing a shot. You understand? And there is an ethical way to be at war. Do you understand? And you need to receive the darkness, sugar, because it's the only way you're going to be the light. Did you know that you can have equally, in some cases, more ministry or church or mosque or whatever at a barbecue with some beers in the cooler than you can anywhere else? You can. I mean, what is God is everywhere. Because you're designed to be everywhere. Let's run it, Grace. Keep on taking these notes. I ain't done. I ain't know when they're done. Number 3, when under attack, don't lose your mind. Help me, somebody. When under attack, don't lose your mind. Do you understand? Let me tell you, let me break it down for you real simple. when they arguing with you, Abby, and they will. As a matter of fact, since you're so happy, I guarantee you the next 24 hours, somebody coming for you. Okay? The opposite got to show up. When it happens, keep your head and don't even respond. Do y'all want to kill it? Can I teach you how to kill a negative conversation in 5 seconds? Would you like to kill? Oh, lost. If you want to kill a negative conversation, a negative energy in 5 seconds, this is what you do. You compliment somebody right on the spot. Susan, I hate you. I hate you. You speak so well when you're angry.
No, stop.
I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Because negative energy needs negative energy. And when people are being negative, they cannot handle you being positive. Because the goal is for me to feed more into my negativity. And I'm only using you as a source to be more angry. And the moment that you compliment, just let somebody come to you talking mess. I don't, Grace, I don't like her. Oh, sorry you feel that way. I love Grace. That conversation will stop. I love Grace. As a matter of fact, I really let people talk about Grace and towards me. You should go tell Grace that yourself. Don't worry about it. I will. I bet they won't come back to you negative no more. 5 seconds. I ain't saying nothing different, sugar, than what's written. Heap hot coals over their heads, don't it say? When you, it's like being positive, showing love. It's like, anyway, let's move on, Grace. We ain't gonna bother nobody. You got to keep your mind. Before, hold on, Grace. Before we move on and get loud, but hold on. The reason you got to keep your mind, it's not just so you can kill negativity. It's because the moment you match the negative forces against you, is the moment you give away all your dreams. Somebody needs to hear that.
Say it again.
The moment you match the negative forces against you is the moment you give away all your dreams. Some of y'all don't realize you've been this close to you've been close to a paid off mortgage, this close, but you keep arguing with your sister. You've been this close. Your whole life will turn around right now. But you keep coming up with snappy comebacks for they snappy comebacks. And every time you do that, you delay your breakthrough. Come on, Law, because I know I'm talking. So he said, written down a notebook. I'm listening.
It's funny that you said that because I think back to working in a store, and we had a new person come into the family in the store, and he didn't like one of the coworkers, and he tried to get me on board with that, and I stopped him dead in his tracks, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that here. I said, that's just him as a person. We have adopted to his isms. We're not going to do that here. We're going to figure out how to work with him.
And now he can't come to you no more with that.
And he's sure he ain't come back to me with anything after that.
And now Texas is much closer to you. You understand? Every time Law in New York starts snapping back at people, he pushes Texas further away. Ain't nobody worth Texas, Law.
Did you say push a mango away? I don't want.
Nope. Nope. Because you ain't got all that emotion behind a mango like you do Texas. Law say, I know how to be at 100 degrees and not sweat. Okay, all this snow is for the birds. Can't wear flip-flops in the snow.
Amen. God, the other day it dropped down to 60 and I had on long sleeves and pants. My sister said, are you crazy? I was like, it's 60. Cold out here. Y'all not cold.
You gonna laugh at us when it get down to 60 here because we gonna have on bomber jackets and snowsuits. And you just gonna laugh at us. You gonna be outside in shorts. We gonna have on thermals, long johns, and spandex underneath it with hand warmers and some mittens.
Bunny boots.
Bunny boots, all of it. A piece of ice gonna hit the freeway and whole Houston gonna close down. Can't drive. All right, Abby, keep your battery. It's all good. So if I cut off, it's unintentional. Now you gonna catch everything you need to catch. She said her battery's about to die. She out there working out. Don't push your dreams away. Number 4, Grace. You need to always have a sense of urgency. Gary Vee has this fantastic clip about Monday. Stop walking around like you fit to live tomorrow. Those who are successful know I'm going to die today, y'all. I am. Now, that is either going to be, real death or real death. But today, I will be right one of these days. And every day, I owe y'all everything to do everything I got to do today. Go ahead, Carol. I think you got yourself muted. Oh, all right.
Can I say something before?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I think it fits, right? Because just as soon as you said that, I think the energy hit my head to respond back to get more value.
It should have.
The old, here it is. The old self will die today to make room for the future you for tomorrow.
Facts. That's facts. And that's on the spiritual level. Real talk. That's super facts. And you got a lot of wisdom to be 29. Listen, y'all. Practically, from a physical standpoint, all of us gonna die today. It's a strong possibility. It's a flip of a coin. So you might as well go ahead and forgive who you need to forgive. Fight for what you need to fight for. Give your husband a nice hug for no reason at all. Remember that conversation with your mama because it might be your last. Stop playing. And those of us who are whatever you call successful, this is how we live. I can die today. And if I die today, Jerry, just specifically these people I've talked to, Jerry, Susan, Satish, Deanna, Monica, Reggie, Grace, Steve, I would die and not have done what I said I was going to do. Over my dead body, literally, will that happen. I'm not even a different kind of breed. Like, you don't get to make me extraordinary to take yourself off the hook. I'm ordinary. I'm just a warrior about mine. I just ain't come here to lose or be average. I'm done with that, Abby. I'm done with that. I can't. If I give one more partial blessing, I'm gonna slap me in the face. I ain't got time to be blaming nobody else, man. Everything is my fault. Ain't nobody ever did nothing to me. Anything ever happened to me, I allowed it. And what I allow will continue. Somebody just sent me a private message. This was perfect and perfectly timed and well needed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me keep on going. Number 5, Grace, I believe. I don't even know what number I'm on. Don't worry about it. Avoid groupthink at all costs. Oh, my God.
Can you repeat that, please?
Avoid groupthink at all costs. Did y'all know? I just want all of you to cut on your TV today. Doesn't matter what country you're in. Just cut it on. It's election year around the whole world, pretty much. I seen somebody in the country, I won't say the country, running for president for 2023. I was shocked. I saw that so early. I was impressed too, but I was shocked. That's a whole lot of time to get people to plot against you. I ain't never do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I need you to think about this for a second. Let me just speak American just for a second. Y'all just please allow me this because I know about American politics. Actually, I know about Indian politics and American politics because I love Indians and I love India. So I know these two better, and I know United Kingdom politics third. But let me just use America. It's the same government, Susan, and they don't like you too much either, Susan. You just got the right to vote 100 years ago. I ain't forgot that. Am I too woke right now? Because Carol, you just got the right to vote 100 years ago. You gave birth to the lawmakers, and they just said you have a voice enough to be like us and vote. That's insane. 100 years ago, some of y'all grandmothers Grace grandmother's 99.
Antonio,
Yes, ma'am.
they gave you the right to vote. That doesn't mean you have a voice.
Ooh. And women do not. This is why, if you don't know, I am a huge egalitarian for women. It just means people who fight for equal rights. The reason I love India so much because half my wisdom comes from India, to be honest with you. Like pretty much every sacred text in India I have read. All of them. Well, not all of them. It's too many. But you get the point. I am. That's why I love India. Donate to India. I'm not saying I got nothing to gain by saying that. I'm just telling you, I have a very Eastern brain living in the Western world. Okay, that's obvious if you just listen to me. You need to avoid groupthink. Cut your TV on. The first thing y'all gonna hear is the left wants you to hate the right, and the right wants you to hate the left. And they all saying, "Vote for me because you're gonna die if you don't." Bruh, let's be real. Let's be real here. I've been living before I knew who you was. I don't need you. I don't need you, Mr. or Mrs. Politician person. I need the school principal. I need the software engineer. I'm talking right now. I need the religious teacher. I need the kindergarten teacher. I need the lady teaching me math. I don't need nobody to graduate with a poli-sci degree, with a minor in history. Teach me how to do this marketing on Instagram. How about that? That's what I need. I'm trying to get my message out. School teachers have done more for the world than any war we've ever fought. Anyway, don't mind me. Law, I saw you put your hand up. Give me 5-10 more minutes. I'm done.
No, I was watching. Well, the news was on yesterday. I wasn't really watching it, but I saw that Trump had pardoned Susan B. Anthony, and I'm just like, why does it take 100 years later for someone to be pardoned? It just makes no sense, especially for her being a woman as well. I think I'm grateful for it, but I think it's silly, and there was a reason behind it. Of course, there's always a reason.
Of course, there's a reason behind everything.
100 years later, I'm just like, come on.
I'm not even saying it's a reason behind it because it's him. It's just a reason behind anything. Anytime they tell y'all catch this whiff of this news, it's a reason behind it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason behind it. I built this branch of the company that y'all sitting in to give away 50% of all my revenues, like free and clear, and didn't tell nobody for 3 years. Just built the structure because the motive is to actually give it away. It's not to be known for giving it away. I want to be synonymous with business. How you receive what I give you, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I promote my business prowess, not my philanthropist prowess. Somebody will get that. Somebody will get that later. Okay? Last thing I'll say, and it's extremely important, you need to turn your enemy or your fight into a crusade. Oh, well, look at that. I did not know that, private messenger. That's what happens when you're in your gift, though. Somebody sent me a private message. I just said something right on time. Listen to me, y'all. If you're still here, it's because you're supposed to be. I did not get out that trash can. I did not become a millionaire by being prayerful. I stayed alive from my grandmother's prayers. You understand? No. Hold on. Let me talk to my older generation first. You saved me. Do you understand? If it wasn't for Lorraine Temple Smith praying when I didn't know what prayer was, help me somebody, I would have gotten a whole lot more trouble than what I did, Jerry. Do you understand? And don't get that twisted. Carol, I would have never made it without a mother's prayers. Woof! I'm sorry, I caught myself with that.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Okay? Because let me tell you right now, that 99-year-old lady, still before she goes to bed, gets down on her knees and prays before she goes to bed.
She keeping a whole lot of people alive, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Without a mother's prayers, I don't even know where this came from, Steve. I apologize. But without a mother's prayers, I wouldn't even be here. All right? I wouldn't even be here. I'm just telling you straight up. I'm classified as a self-made millionaire because I ain't come from nothing. That came from prayer. You understand? That's part of the battle. The other part of the battle is massive action with strategic warfare. There is a system that wants you to be 67 with a mortgage. That is disrespectful. Right now, if you are over 50, you have paid more taxes than anybody else on planet Earth. You've bought into everything they ever told you. You did it religiously. You did it with ethics. You did it with great spiritual. You did it without complaining. They took your lunch breaks. They gave you an hour, dropped it down to 30 minutes. They took your holidays. They made you work 16-hour days. They made you work 6 days on, 2 days off. Tell me I'm lying. They made you miss your children's piano recital. They made arguments happen in your house because you had to work too much. Your current 22-year-old son is just now understanding why they had a problem with you, because now they got the same problems you got to go through. And all they gave you back for that was say, I might not give you Social Security. If please quote me on this, because I would say it in a microphone across the whole world with a mega speaker. The most disrespected generation of all time is baby boomers. You have been lied to. Without a doubt. You have been lied to. Now, I want all you baby boomers and anybody listening, let me just specifically talk to them. All of you. If you're a school teacher, I'm not sure why that keep coming up. If you got a problem with your sister and you done got over that, I don't know why that keep coming up. You make that a crusade. You go on a forgiveness crusade. You get, because people ain't gonna listen to Susan, but they will listen to the enjoyment of happiness. Y'all don't follow me. You follow MExit. You follow the middle class exit. I'm not who you following. My crusade is who you following. Nobody following Satish. You following Satish because he is getting ready to be one of the richest men in India and finna pull a lot of Indians out. Because he has a heart for Indian people. And because he hooked up an American millionaire who also has a heart for Indian people. You do not follow Satish because he's handsome. Some of y'all do. That's all right, though. Okay. You follow Satish because he is a movement that's a crusade. Nobody cares about what you do. They care about your movement. No one donates to Red Cross. They donate to the hurricane that just slaughtered the whole city. The tornado that just ripped up everything. That's what they're donating to. No one cares about Red Cross. They care about that 1,700 person city with no houses left. That's the movement. Nobody cared about inner city black people in New Orleans until Hurricane Katrina drowned them. Don't ever forget this. Turn what you're doing into a crusade. This is how you get out of it. Everything I just taught you, there's more. Save it for another office conversation. You need to understand that you will not get to your miracle through prayer. You get to your miracle through movement. You have the confidence that the miracle is yours through prayer. Prayer is half the battle. The other part of the battle is movement. Allow me to give you an example from a Christian text. Forgive me if you're not Christian. It's just a great example. There was a guy, he was a carpenter. You probably heard of him. His name was Jesus. Okay? He's kind of got some fame. This guy was told, don't go to Jerusalem. You're going to die. I promise you that's literally what it says. Okay? And just to respect Thomas was like, no, we need to go. Because so he's not doubting Thomas. It's a misnomer. But anyway. Now, understanding that my man is fit to die in 7 days, he kept moving towards death. You should hear this. Understanding. You ain't got to be Christian to accept this. I'm a terrible religious person. I like all y'all. I don't know. I don't fit too well in religion. I like all y'all. Okay. But again, I got Eastern head. I like all the gods in India, right? that's Eastern mind. So I was born in the wrong century. Okay. In the wrong century. My man kept marching. And in his greatest defeat was also his greatest glory. Can I turn that around on y'all? Do you mind? Because I was talking about y'all the whole time. Are you willing to march towards crucifixion? Because you ain't going to never be blessed in your house. You have never had a life-altering blessing that didn't cost too much. Help me, somebody. 2 more minutes, I'm done. Ain't nothing ever changed your life that didn't cost you too much. That car that took you to the job you needed, it both costed too much. The job and the car and the gas. To deliver your son into this world cost too much. That house you live in that keep you safe cost too much. Antonio, it's too expensive. Do it, Jerry. Do it. Because anything that you've ever said was too expensive changed your life. Going towards known crucifixion is always too expensive. But if you want to change the world, you got to be willing to die. Mahatma Gandhi, am I in the right place? Am I not describing him perfectly? Yes. Mother Teresa, Muhammad, Buddha. Am I not doing this well? You want me to bring up some yogis? I know a few ascended masters. Again, that's my Eastern thought coming out. Right? But I mean, I could do this all day. Bring up some saints. You have to be willing to die. But if you're not willing to march, if you know I got these students and all this or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is for you, if you're not willing to die, you ain't gonna get it. Nobody changes their world or the world in comfort. You couldn't even get teeth without breaking your gums. My challenge to you, now you know I'm done. I want you to go out there today. I don't want you to go, wow. Nope. I want you to be angry. I want you to be angry for what you want. I want you to realize I've prayed my last prayer. If I pray again, it would be for other people. But I spent 69 years on planet Earth praying for me. I'm done. God had already told me I could have it. Help me, somebody. I need some believers now. I don't need to pray for me no more. Wherever my feet shall tread, it is mine. Now I'm praying for other people. Stop praying and start moving. It's already yours. You already worthy, and you know it. And deep down, you know that I'm right about you. Now, be willing to die. Because if you hold on to your life, you're most certainly going to lose it. But if you're willing to lose it, you would definitely live a life worth living. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. All right, everybody. See you later today or something that we're doing. Y'all have a good one. Be willing to die for it.